Well, Mohamed Yahya is a lead author of the report and joins us now from New York. Mohamed, are you surprised by the findings in your report?
Certainly, there were some of the outcomes of the report that was a bit surprising on the data side. For example, how the power of dreams are an important factor. People are taking the risk, crossing the Sahara, crossing the Mediterranean, and very little seems to deter them in achieving the dreams and making sure that their ambitions are met. And at home, they feel that that ambition cannot be met. So that was one of the surprising factors of the report, the power of dreams, essentially.
So which do you think is more to blame? Is it the push factors that cause people to leave their countries of origin, or indeed the pull factors that attract them to their favored destinations?
I don't think it's about blaming in terms of the root causes. I think it's more of understanding the root causes and making sure that policy is made by data, by evidence. Unfortunately, in the migration sector, there seem to be a lot of policies that are essentially assumption-based. And this report that UNDP undertook is to make policy makers understand that the root development causes at home that make many young people see that their dreams can only be achieved in Europe.
Now, for over a decade, the West has been looking at ways to work with African governments to drastically reduce migration through the Sahara and the Mediterranean. With results like this from your report, do you think that is even possible?
I think it is possible. It's possible by ensuring that the focus needs to be focused on the African youth and his or her ambition, and the focus needs to be about development and accelerating development at home. The focus should not be about managing migration per se. It should be about creating opportunities at home and ensuring that development resources do not go to migration management, but rather focus on creating hope and opportunity in the country of origin. And that is not something that will be achieved in the short term.
Well, indeed, because like I said, governments on the continent have been promising to take measures to make sure that they reduce the numbers of people who are leaving their countries for Europe through these dangerous routes. Do you find that African governments are listening to those of you who make these findings in these reports?
But we hope that the report allows them to listen and understand. And one of the things that really the report shows is Africa is losing its best, because these young people are on average more educated, on average more hopeful in terms of the contribution they want to make. And overall, they are the byproducts of Africa's success, essentially. But the success seems to have a ceiling for them. And they feel that the ceiling, if the ceiling is not removed, then they will leave the continent to achieve their dream somewhere else. And so the message for African government is be competitive, focus on the youth question, and give these young people opportunity closer to their own countries.
Mohamed Yahya from the United Nations Development Program in New York, thank you very much for your insight into that story.
Thank you for having me.